Hi, my name is Andrew Fisher, and I'm the lead designer on the new Stormlight Archive RPG. We've done a couple videos about the game already. In those, our creative director Johnny dives into some of the core mechanics, the plot die, and how that drives the narrative, as well as some of our new innovative combat mechanics. So if you haven't seen those already, make sure to go check those out after this one. Today, I'm going to be diving into a topic that I know a bunch of you are curious about, which is your character. I'm not going to have time to go into all the nitty-gritty on this character sheet, but I did want to talk about one thing in particular, which is paths. Paths are one of the most important part of your character, and they kind of define what you're going to be doing throughout the game, what your character is capable of. Your path gives you access to a bunch of different talents that you're going to be unlocking through this tree. Talents give you powerful active abilities as well as passive buffs that a lot of other characters aren't going to be capable of and really define what your character does. Paths are probably most analogous to classes or careers from other role-playing games, but they've got some unique elements that make them tailored specifically to Stormlight Archive characters that we'll get to see in a second. There are two different types of paths in the game: heroic paths and radiant paths that give you access to surges. For now, we're going to focus on heroic paths, because when you first create your character, you're going to select one of our 6 main heroic paths to start you off. You can choose from agents, which are talented and tricky individuals like spies and thieves. You could choose an envoy, which is an insightful negotiator like a diplomat or religious figure. You could choose hunters, which are skilled sharpshooters and trackers. You could choose a leader, who are poised commanders both on the battlefield or in political and social arenas. You could choose a warrior, who are fighters who use either skill or brute force to win combats. Or finally, you could choose a scholar, who use thinking to overcome their problems. And scholar is what we're going to be diving into a bit more detail today using my character Calith here. So as I set off to create Calith in the first place, I'll make some decisions about his ancestry and a couple other things, but then I get to choose his starting path, and we're going to go with scholar. When I choose scholar, I get to start with the very first talent at the top of the talent tree. This is the key talent, and you have to take this before you get access to anything else. Once you've taken it, you can choose any talent connected to it in the tree that's connected to a talent you already own. To start off here in Scholar, I get Erudition, which is a powerful talent that gives you 2 new skill ranks. But these aren't quite like any other skill rank. They have to go into one of my cognitive skills here, and they allow me to exceed the normal limit of my skill ranks. And more importantly, I can reassign them when I rest. So Erudition makes my Scholar a very powerful yet flexible thinker. Once I've chosen that, I get 1 additional talent at character creation, and my options really open up. I can choose any of the talents connected to Erudition in this tree, and so I can start expanding it to any of the 3 specializations within Scholar. I could choose to become an Artifabrian who specializes in making fabrials, kind of like Navani. I could choose to be a strategist who plans ahead for my group, kind of like Dalinar. Or I could choose to be a surgeon, kind of like Kaladin or Lirin, helping heal my companions. With Calith, I think I want to play around with fabrials, so I'm going to go into Artifabrian. Looking at this specialty, I think I'm going to choose this prized acquisition talent here up at the top. With it, I'm going to be able to craft a unique fabrial using the crafting rules in our items chapter. Now, I definitely don't have time to get into details on this, but trust me, they're pretty rad. So now, my character's ready to go. He's got his start on his path. I'll finish up some other details that we won't get into here, but I'm going to jump to play. Then, as we play and my character advances, eventually I'm going to level up. And each time I level up, I gain access to a new talent choice. So, when I jump back to my path, we could keep my character going along this Artifabrian path. Below prized acquisition, there's some talents that further upgrade that fabrial of mine. But in the meantime, our GM's been throwing a lot of social skill tests at us, and Calith isn't quite up to the task, so I think I could use some help. So let's look at what other options I have in my path. Looking around, I think I'm going to go over into the surgeon tree and take a look at emotional intelligence. This talent is going to be good for me because it allows me to put my erudition skill ranks into my spiritual skills. They'll no longer be limited to just my cognitive skills. And over here in my spiritual skills include persuasion, which is going to help me a lot in those social skill tests. So I'm going to take that talent and add it to my character. But if I wanted to, I could branch out even further than that. To explain what I mean, I want to talk a little bit about our design process. One of the defining aspects of characters from the Stormlight archive that we identified during early design is that they're rarely one thing. So for example, Kaladin is a surgeon, a soldier, then he becomes a bridgeman, and then he becomes a leader, and then eventually he's a windrunner. Looking over at Shallan, she is an artist, she's a scholar, she's a con artist, and eventually she's a lightweaver. And similarly, most of the characters of the books are similarly multifaceted. So we knew that we wanted the PCs to be the same. We wanted your characters to be multifaceted in the same way that the characters from the books were. We wanted to make multi-pathing very easy in our game. So when my character levels up, I can choose to expand into this scholar tree, or I can choose to jump over to any of the paths I have access to. Any of those heroic paths are fair game. And to start a new heroic path, I just start up with the key talent in that path and add it to my character along with my scholar talents. The big choice here is whether to generalize or specialize. I could spread out and collect a large variety of things, or I could specialize in one section of the tree and reach some of these powerful talents down here at the bottom. It's a choice I've got to make. And beyond just choosing these heroic paths, as I play, I can choose to grow into one of 9 radiant paths and gain access to Spren bonds, to powerful surges, and to talents that upgrade those surges. But I'm going to save that stuff for next week. So make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can check out that video, and go check out our Kickstarter page and follow the campaign. Thanks, everyone.